Hello, my name is Donika Gibson. Myself, along with Charles Reed Nichols and Stephen Waugh, worked together to complete a rapid evidence assessment over the course of several weeks, which is much faster than what it would take to complete a traditional systematic review. And the rapid evidence assessment is a widely used method of reviewing the scientific literature to support evidence-based management. This presentation discusses our process from scoping reviews and organizational analysis to a rapid evidence assessment, which provides a balanced assessment of what is known and not known in the scientific literature related to private practice management. Our research approach, findings, and recommendations are based on evidence. In order to be rapid, we made some concessions in relation to the breadth, depth, and comprehensiveness of our searches. Our team reviewed the Wellness & Co. website, conducted a SWOT analysis, and interviewed the owner in our appraisal of the growth potential, personnel, operations, and work environment. The limited SWOT analysis helped each of us to better understand Wellness & Co.'s strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We thought that this effort would help Wellness & Co. to build on what they do well, to address what is really lacking while minimizing risk and taking the greatest possible advantages of chances for success. Undertaking an organizational analysis for this woman-owned small business was beneficial as it enabled us to identify several redundant and inefficient business operations that could contribute to burnout.
For the study, the problem statement and research question were largely laid out by the client. The client's goal was to improve the business practices and clinician workflow. She wanted to make sure she had the right business systems in place so that she could achieve her business goals. So the problem was how to optimize those business systems at an absolute minimum investment because there's not a lot of capital available in a small business. So using the Peacock format, we decided the population was private practices, the intervention was new business systems, the comparison was her existing systems, the outcome goal being improved business practices, management, and clinician workflow. So the context being her values-based small business.
Our research approach involved planning for and executing a rapid evidence assessment, or REA. This process is faster and not as exact as a full systematic review, but much more rigorous than ad hoc searching. Together, we initiated our process with an interview and then targeted searches of only peer-reviewed literature identified through the UMGC Library's OneSearch capability and other similar library databases. The approach depicted in this slide is consistent with the principles underlying systematic review methodologies, but makes allowances for the rapid delivery of information while utilizing explicit and reproducible methods during each of the stages illustrated on the right side of this slide. Our method involved developing an explicit research question which defined three components of the research, that is, management, burnout, and systems. We developed thorough, reproducible, and complementary search strategies, and this step included the development of evidence selection criteria which were followed by quality assessments based on the research question, research papers, and findings. By using weight of evidence, TOPUPUS, and CIRQUAL, we are providing Wellness & Company with greater clarity about how our evidence was obtained and its rigor. We have produced a report in less than a semester. The coding of significant findings from selected qualitative research was helpful in the identification of distinct categories and themes that addressed our research question. Qualitative data elements, as indicated in the previous slide, relate to management, burnout, and software systems. Coding involved reducing research findings into manageable and meaningful text segments related to our research question. From the codes, our team developed a number of themes. Themes were then refined as illustrated in this network diagram. As a research team, we deliberated and rearranged themes to create clusters that's centered on large issues that address the research question. This slide demonstrates that the development of a thematic network systematically supported the categorization of information from data that was extracted from scientific evidence. The development of a thematic network allowed us to explore and better understand wellness and company concerns related to burnout and business operations. It provided our research team with insights on how to enhance wellness and company from a business and management perspective. Based on wellness and company concerns from our early interview, elements of our research question addressed issues related to burnout. We considered this to be the why behind our research. During our search, we found that numerous researchers have identified workplace stress as a key contributor to burnout. Research related to private practices discuss conflicts among those that are involved in both business and therapeutic decision-making. Therapists predisposed to or being impacted by burnout were relieved through mindfulness training. Mindfulness was found to be especially important for the private practitioner involved in running the practice while also providing therapy. This concept involves a moment-to-moment awareness of one's experience without judgment. Considerable research highlighted benefits of software solutions, especially for scheduling, compliance, and outsourcing. Effective and well-integrated software has the potential to mitigate inefficient business processes such as billing that potentially cause stress. Web-based training can also be used to enhance the practice. There are multiple ways to cultivate and practice mindfulness. Training in mindfulness was a theme in the research that mitigated the impact of burnout, especially for those that were predisposed to this problem owing to factors such as tempo. Solutions included online and face-to-face training, as well as activities such as Tai Chi, meditation, and yoga.
Through the lens of how to upgrade business systems, the evidence was strong. After data collection, coding, and theming, three major findings emerged: people, plan, and execution. First, having the right people is always essential, and keeping that diverse team actively managing the project from beginning to end is important, especially to increase awareness of the business goals and baking in the values. Second, project management was the most frequent topic. Having a comprehensive plan from requirements to deployment and on through continuous improvement is essential. Third, during execution, unpredicted opportunities will arise, but cost is a limiting variable. So the top 5 factors: project management, user experience, cost and schedule, quality, and business value.
Findings confirmed that implementation of project management software as a business operating system has been proven to be effective. Dr. O'Hara has expressed interest in a cost-effective system because Wellness & Co. lacks financial resources. Therefore, using open source resources on the web is an option. Table 1 provided in this presentation provides us with a list of free open source project management tools. Each tool addresses different needs. Such tools have assisted in the management of small businesses while being a key contributing factor in the success of organizational goals.
On recommendations for how to do it, we suggest that you establish a diverse stakeholder team to manage the project, require that project manager to develop a thorough plan, and then during execution, focus on integration of the old and the new with an eye on cost. As far as recommendations for what, we suggest starting with project management software. There are some open source options listed in Table 1 in the backup slide. Secondly, retain what you're using and like, simple practice as the hub, and then integrate new systems with it. The proposed implementation plan has several phases with distinct steps. During the exploration phase, we're going to establish the requirements, understanding that there may be more discovery as we look at existing processes. Then we're going to set phased goals for the project, and finally plan and schedule the events with a set budget. Then we're in the integration phase, and we're going to start testing functionality of the systems and integrating the new with the existing systems, and then seek some user evaluation to make sure that the software that we have is actually doing what they need it to do. Finally, you're going to step into the deployment phase, where we're actually putting out the software live for everyone to use. We've got to make sure that there's training, and then have a commitment for continuous improvement as time goes by.
Implementation risk is the potential for a failure from a new approach or technology. Common risks involve employees reverting back to legacy procedures or the perception that innovations will not provide improved benefits. Subtle risks include implementing innovations that conflict with an unaccounted for task, or the lack of alignment between managers and those that need to apply new procedures, techniques, or software. The key risk to mitigate is the tendency for a manager to implement new procedures without gaining support from others who are working at or partnering with Wellness & Company. As indicated on the right side of this slide, there are a variety of leadership approaches that one might take. Some are better than others. Strong implementation of change should be an empowering experience for all those involved. Being able to control implementation should involve delegation. Increased chances of success involve including and gaining commitment from all stakeholders while assessing impacts on time, budget, and objectives. Successful implementation will be associated with a high commitment from all stakeholders. Enhancing Wellness & Company will involve internal and external stakeholders. Wellness & Company will be dependent on stakeholders for crucial support, investment, and resources. For this reason, it will be key to identify the stakeholders and manage their expectations. Each will have some power, influence, and interest in enhancements. Once identified, stakeholder information should be recorded in an Excel spreadsheet. Communicating with each stakeholder in the right way will play a vital part in keeping them on board and mitigating implementation risks. Owing to the tempo at Wellness & Company, be sure to consider how to manage the time you expect to spend on communications. This is especially important as you involve others in decisions. The aim should be to win and maintain stakeholder support for the business enhancements. Stakeholder communications should highlight benefits that the enhancements will bring to Wellness & Company. Select the most appropriate method to save time and convey information. Interactive communications might be used to pass essential information. For example, a webinar might be used to explain key performance drivers, such as ways to increase time by delivering schedule improvements. Wellness & Company is already pushing information using social media and by publishing professional articles, but might consider press releases. A collaboration tool such as SharePoint might be used to pull information that can be used to determine progress toward milestones.
References are shown here in APA format from each REA and each in-text citation. References are continued on subsequent slides as needed.
In conclusion, this REA provides science-based applications that can be implemented to reduce the risk of burnout and to improve business operations. Examples range from mindfulness training to fully integrated software solutions to honing servant leadership skills have been described. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to contact us if you have any questions.